actually explored going to roll out carts per household, and we were told it's cost prohibitive to do that. And right now, Earth Circle is too small of a company to handle citywide. So, because originally when we started this, I had hoped that we could, recycling would be free and we would charge for trash. But logistically, they couldn't work it out. So, are all the bugs worked out with this? The big ones are. I think what's going to be difficult is deciphering through all the rental property. I think that the vacants and the rehabs, foreclosures owned by banks. Rich.
While you're on rental property, it seems like landlord's a four-letter word now. And I'll guarantee
It's not.
I'll guarantee you, as a landlord, I am not going to pass that $11 on to my tenants. If anything, I'm flat or I'm reducing rent. So everybody says, oh, we're going to beat them over the head and they're going to recycle. Not the tenants, because they're not going to get one nickel in their rent. Why should they? But I'm paying it.
This is a utility, and that's what they told me. This is a utility, and if you, as a landlord, want to pay that utility for your tenants, you may.
I
That's
have
your
to,
choice.
Jennifer.
Or you can pass it on.
I don't have a choice. No, come on. So, we're not raising rent now.
I said it recycled.
Well, that's wonderful, but I'm not going to beat my tenants in the head and make them miss on my job.
See, I would make everybody recycle, except for a little bit.
Encourage it.
How do you do that? You can't.
You recycle too.
I recycle.
Okay, and I've got lots of questions, I know. Shirley, do you have a question?
Well, is the $11 gonna cover is the refuse division now gonna become self-supporting? with
No,
this $11?
no. This only defrays the cost of trash. So no, this only generates, a portion of the cost of the service. So, but in going through this, I think everyone was more comfortable with $8 a unit for whatever reason, because we're transitioning to paying for trash. And we're used to getting a lot of things. I know, growing up, we always paid for trash. That it was just a huge luxury to move into the city, and I could just throw anything I wanted in that big dumpster. Well, now my whole mentality has changed. Now I'm thinking about throwing as little as into the dumpster as I can. So.
But we've always been paying for trash.
We're not generating enough. Here, why don't we go?
Taxes.
Yeah, your taxes are an earnings tax, 300, I'll use me for an example. I make $34,340 a year in earnings. I pay $1,700 a year in real estate. 60% of your real estate taxes go to the school district. We're only getting 20% of the real estate taxes for general revenue. 8% of that is serving debt service. So 12% of property taxes are supporting city services. And let's just talk about the reality of a public safety department. The police department this year, and they were the only department that siloed their pension increases within their department. It was amazing. It was a $6 million increase. They siloed it in their department, and their budget is $1 million less than it was last year. It's $161 million this year. They basically took that hit without affecting the manpower on the street. So your police department's $161 million a year. Your fire department's about $65 million a year. And I haven't even talked about how much corrections, the courts, public safety is expensive. And I mean, if I could wave my magic wand, I would create a regional police and fire, a public safety district to help defray the cost to the whole region. But I don't have a
Maybe I'm misunderstanding, but I think you're putting a lot on public safety. When my husband is a firefighter, and he just had to give up 40 hours of vacation time, they're taking away their shift differential. They're asking them to give an awful lot up. When other employees are getting raises, not fire department, but other people at City Hall are getting raises.
Now, the fire department was the only city department that had, instead they were supposed to get a $3 million increase. They got a $1 million increase.
Well, I mean, it's not,
Yeah.
that they haven't gotten a raise in quite some time.
Right,
They
we
just keep-
froze the police and fire matrices,
Sure.
which is, you know.
But did yours
and
get frozen?
I'm furloughed, I was furloughed, you know.
But did your raises get frozen?
We don't have rates, we don't get a matrix.
You don't get a raise?
No,
Well, what was all that on TV?
that was not true.
You
We
guys-
get a raise once every 4 years, and I lost it in furlough. So you don't get a raise when you're elected.
Well, I mean, I think,
You can't. You have to wait till you're reelected. You cannot increase your wages. So we cyclically get everything that the employees get, but you get it after you're reelected.
Well, the firemen, the policemen should definitely be taken care of.
No,
Thank you, that's what
No.
Joe Gomez said, I believe.
no, we can't. So, I mean, this was really tough. And no, we're not picking on the Department of Public Safety. Basically, what I'm saying is, it's expensive. And so, when you're talking about the earnings tax and your property taxes, which is, you know, our two most stable sources of revenue, 60% of your real estate taxes are going to the school district. And only 20% is going to the city. The other 20% is going to all these other, you know, the museum, zoo district, that kind of.
But what I'm saying is, I don't want all these people think that the firemen, the policemen have these giant pensions, because there's a lot being taken away from them, and the city public schools have not been up to par for our children to go there. My youngest just graduated high school. I've had so much in tuition that, and you know, now they're gonna lift a residency, so I mean, it does us no good, but we actually give to have these jobs, so they're not getting no big fat raises and pensions and all that. I'll
Well,
tell you
the
that.
pension situation though is, I won't say it's their fault that the markets have lost value. That's what's happened. We've paid whatever the actuary says we have to pay, and basically when the pensions lose value, we just have to write a check. And it has to be the first bill paid, because we've been sued. And we leveraged bonds to get them up to 100%. And now here we are, after leveraging bonds, and then we did Prop S and dedicated revenue streams to the pension systems. That's why I'm saying it's not sustainable, okay? We, many years ago, and it wasn't me, it was the board before us, gave sick leave buyback and vacation leave buyback, and it's factored into your average compensation, and then they have O days, and that can be factored into your final average compensation. So when somebody walks out, like 2-3 people in the mayor's office did this year, $160,000 in cash. Just write the check. Well, that was fine when we did that 15 years ago, because they were in the black and they could afford it. But they were not forward thinking. They were not thinking about what was going to happen in the next 15 years when the bankers decided they were just going to gamble and do things like derivatives. Okay, so I'm not saying it's anybody's fault. It is what it is, and we as a city, our job is to try to continue service and do the best we can with the resources that we have.
But I guess what
Yeah.
I'm not understanding
Yeah.
is, this recycling program, this is gonna take a lot of revenue. And we got employees that have just, everything's been picked away from them. And instead of maybe trying to get things more on an even keel with the employees, giving them a little bit of a raise to keep their morale up, and that, we're doing a recycling program now, and which is gonna be a lot of money.
Well, I'm not sure it's going to be a lot of money. But what they're
You know,
saying is
to start
it's
it,
revenue neutral. We don't get anything for the recyclables, but for each ton of trash.
No, I mean to start the program, it's gonna be,
Well, it's already started. They've been picking up the blue dumpsters now.
but it's expensive.
You
I
know,
mean,
all over
start
the
it.
neighborhood. They're going to place the. I think they're saying the whole. It's $3 million, and $300,000 is going to cover the cost of all the startup. So I mean, that's what they're saying. I won't know until it actually happens. I'm not saying it's going to be perfect. It might be a little bumpy, but you can always call me or Tracy, and we'll try to do whatever we have to do to get through it.
Those
Bev?
blue dumpsters are like a reward, though.
I can't wait to have a blue dumpster in my
It's a
van.
reward.
Well, I love having the blue dumpster at the end of my block, but, okay, that being said, I understand, it doesn't mean I have to like it.
You don't have to like it.
Okay, I don't have to like it, I have to live with it, but I have to budget. And as a landlord and as a homeowner, okay, so now, in 5 years, my water bill's gone up going to be up 50% over a 5-year period.
Yeah, we haven't even
Okay.
gotten there yet.